So first question, discuss the main features of the climatic classification system evolved by Kurt Cohen. Also find out its anomalies. Cohen was an Austrian climatologist who presented his scheme of climatic classification in 1933 through a research article, and in 1936 in a book, Handbook of Climatology. Plant psychologist H. Candolle was the chief motivating force at work behind Köppen's classification of climate. Köppen's work was based on three variables mainly. In 1933, but 1936 he added one more to the list, his four variables. So mainly temperature, vegetation, precipitation, and altitude. And added in 1936 before temperature, vegetation, and precipitation. And like D. Candolle, Köppen also used abbreviations for different climatic conditions. The abbreviations now have become significant part of any meteorological studies. Köppen had used the extent of temperature and amount of precipitation as the basis of the growth of vegetation, and altitude as the basic determinant of temperature, considering the effectiveness of their variables. Köppen presented the order of climatic regionalization. First order was very similar to the scheme of De Candolle. However, other orders were largely based on the regional and regional patterns of temperature and precipitation. Köppen had divided the world into 6 major types of climatic zones of the first order, and therefore into 11 and 24 types at second and third orders, respectively. He also viewed that the further climatic zones may be developed depending on the detailed study of temperature and precipitation at micro level. For the tropics, 68 degree Fahrenheit the temperature was chosen because it is the basic temperature for the growth of date palm. Zone D of Taiga region. For second and third orders of regionalization, Köppen has used some additional alphabets with distinct meaning. Actually, 20 more alphabetical signs were used involving 4 capital letters to explain meso and micro orders of climate. These symbols are as follows. So anomalies of Köppen's climatic classification are: Köppen is criticized for making a copy of D. Candolle for his first order classification. Thornwright has called this scheme an oversimplified, as Köppen was improved some complicated meteorological phenomena. For example, Köppen considered vegetation as one of the basis, but did not take into account the impact of meteorological phenomena vegetation. Köppen has used absolute figure of RF temperature for climatic classification, but meteorologically their effectiveness is important. For example, Ruarthan, mainly desert, and the prairie and steppe regions received about 30 centimeters of rainfall due to differential effectiveness owing to differential transportation and evaporation, and in desert and other is not. Okay, this effectiveness factor has been ignored by Köppen. The scheme is based on empirical methodology, and the figure of temperature and precipitation and are based on estimated observation rather than on scientific measurement. Köppen ignored many other variables like distance from sea, vegetation cover, national impact, air pressure, station pattern, etc. It uses same formula for highland and lowland, and this becomes a source of many errors. The boundaries fixed were as boundaries, temperature and rainfall at his place differ from the year to year, and hence boundary changes on yearly basis. The situation in this scheme of Köppen is largely of academic interest only, as it does not provide great application. But is ever more interesting is that the hardcore of this game have practically presented a modified version of this classical scheme of climatic classification of carbon. Obviously, it cannot be written up so easily. Thank you.